Enough is enough with not being able to enjoy things. For example, I recently, and recently by recently mean like 6 months ago, I got back into Yu-Gi-Oh! And let me tell you, god damn, is it expensive. So you need to pay a price, If you're having fun, you need to pay a price, and usually it's not a good one because a fuck fun, right? Which that's what's happening right now with Palworld. Now, the reason why I'm touching on this topic is because Pokemon is an anime. Pokemon is done by Gamefreak. Gamefreak is speaking their minds on Palworld. And even though Palworld is not a ripoff of Pokemon, um, I decided that it was an interesting topic to talk about in today's news segment. So here's the thing, and this is what's happening right now. And just kind of a nutshell, there's obviously way more in-depth videos out there, but I'm going to give you the overall story of what's happening, just for you to like get caught up with the whole drama that is happening. And as is, I shit you not, 4:36 for me. You can probably see right there, 4:36 a.m. Uh, I just got the notification of a little tweet that sounded very, very interesting, but I'll get to that in just a moment. So let's begin with what is Palworld. Palworld is this game that involves certain mechanics of capturing animals, putting them to work or to fight, um, and also survival in this world. This things will attack you and you will die, and yada 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 yada. Now, what has made Palworld so insanely massively popular is the fact that it kind of blends the best elements of Ark survival and the best elements of Pokemon, creating this amalgamation of like Pokemon for adults or Pokemon with guns, which is how a lot of people have referred to it as. Now, is it a Pokemon ripoff? In my personal opinion, your opinion is correct. So don't cry me a river right now. In my personal opinion, which is wrong, um, I would say that no, it's not a ripoff. It has elements of Pokemon, such as the same way you can say that Yu Gi Oh! Is a ripoff of Magic the Gathering, because both of them are card games that kind of have basic uh, elements that could be shared together. The monsters attack. There's cards that do spells, and there's cards that do traps, and yada 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 yada. That doesn't mean that Yu-Gi-Oh is the same as Magic the Gathering. Same here, Palworld, even though it does share some elements of Pokemon, it is not a Pokemon ripoff. Just because you have a sphere-looking thing that allows you to capture an animal and put it to work or to battle, that doesn't mean that is inherently a Pokemon ripoff. That is just an element, just the same way you have uh, Souls like games. Is it like Dark Souls? So a lot of people compare Jedi Fallen Order to Dark Souls, but they don't say that it's a Dark Souls ripoff, even though it does share very similar elements in the combat mechanics. So one thing is to have similar mechanics, and the other one is to be an actual ripoff. So here, Palworld, in my opinion, is not a ripoff of Pokemon. Now there has been people on Twitter that have been trying to trash Palworld, defending for some reason Pokemon, saying that, oh no no no, this is a ripoff because if you look at the design, it's the exact copy and this and that, and people have been disproven, noticing that no, those little blends that you were making, giving your perspective, saying that it was an actual fact that Palworld was copying the body structure of Pokemon was false. And here's the thing: Palworld is basing its animals off of real life animals in a way, using guns and chainsaws and pickaxes and shit like that to them. And even though you can find a lot of similarities between one and the others, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's a complete ripoff on the structure. Now, this is one negative that has also been happening, even though it has been every single time disproven that Palworld has copied the assets. Now, you can make the claim that they have clearly used inspiration, but that doesn't mean that it's a copy. Everything is a copy of another thing. You can say at this very particular moment that um, the BTS K-pop music is a ripoff of the Backstreet Boys because they're a boy band. Clearly, there's inspiration that you can say, yeah, but it doesn't mean that it's a ripoff. So here we have, in my opinion, what it is: Palworld using inspiration from Pokemon to their pals or monsters or whatever. So with that said, there has also been the talk that AI was used in Palworld for their designs, and that's why they came out as eerily similar to Pokemon as possible. And here's the thing: I would 100% hate if that was the case, and I would not defend Palworld as much as I am at this particular moment if they were caught using AI. That is just scammy, and I would hate to see a world where AI is finally making games that are widely successful, and we don't even know if there was a human behind them or not. I would 100% not support that. Now, speaking of support, Game Freak has actually raised its voice a little bit on the Palworld situation, where they destroyed or sent a letter of cease and desist or something of the nature. They freaked out. Let's put it in plain English. They freaked out. They shit their pants because there was an mod version of Palworld in which you would actually be using Pokemons. You would be Ash. You wouldn't be using the Palworld version of whatever. You would be Ash Ketchum forcing Squirtle to shoot an AK-47 down Onyx ass or something. And they had to stop. But that's the thing. Clearly Game Freak is freaking out. You know what I mean? Because this is not a normal situation for them. Pokemon is the most profitable franchise that has ever existed in the history of mankind. And in the last couple of years, we've gotten shit from them. But because there's nothing really to compete with them, we are kind of stuck with it. I mean, I can tell you, I enjoyed playing Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, but I'm going to tell you, I would have rather played Pokemon Emerald or Pokemon Ruby or Red Fire or even Pokemon Yellow. Don't even talk about like Pokemon Silver and Gold. Those were like, in my opinion, the pinnacle, the actual things that gave Game Freak the position that it's in right now. And I feel like it's been on a decline since then without improving their mechanics, taking out mechanics that we used to like, and just releasing games that are overly expensive for the bare land and glitches that we get. And I'm talking about Violet and Scarlet at this particular moment. So Palworld comes in without the major force that Game Freak has and delivers a game that introduces the similar mechanic that we're used to, but other elements that just makes it way more fresh and compelling. So obviously, this is the game that a lot of Pokemon fans have been waiting for, and it shows on the numbers. Palworld is sitting around $30, and it's not a complete game yet. But as it stands, with the mechanics that they're using and the implementations that they have, it's insanely profitable because it gives the customer what it wants. And Game Freak, for some reason, doesn't like that because it's like, hey, no, 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 no. Capturing creatures and putting them to fight is my thing, not your thing. I need to be king, not you. So that is what just happened. And we have a tweet. We have a, or an X. What do you call it now? Anyways, we have a tweet from Game Freak, and I'm sorry that I cannot pull it up on the screen because it's 4 a.m. and I'm delirious. And literally, if I stop talking, I will fall asleep. Yeah. So here's the tweet. Not that you can read it, but I'm gonna read it to you. Um, inquiring inquiries regarding other companies' games. We have received many inquiries regarding another company's games released in January 2024. We have not granted any permission for the use of Pokemon intellectual property or assets in that game. We intend to investigate and take appropriate measures to address any acts that infringe on intellectual property rights related to the Pokemon. We will continue to cherish and nurture each and every Pokemon and its world, and work to bring the world together through Pokemon in the future. The Pokemon Company. I'm amazed at how they say, like, oh, we're going to go for their throats. If there's anything that we can latch onto to bring them down, these other measly peasant companies, we fucking will. But let's bring joy through Pokemon and let's work to make the world a better place. Like, come on, Game Freak. That is such bullshit. But clearly, they have taken notice and they want to take action because they're freaking out. So far, there has not been necessarily a whole lot of evidence to support any of the claims that Palworld has infringed on any copyright laws. Again, inspiration is not the same as copying. All right. And we'll see what happens. Game Freak is freaking out. Palworld is being massively successful. I am not necessarily a huge fan of this type of games. Like, I tried Ark Survival, and god damn it, it was insanely boring. So survival games online are not a thing that I really gravitate towards. But I mean, just to show support, I might buy the game. But anyways, I've been enjoying seeing others play it. So please let me know in the comments down below what you think about this. And do you play Palworld? Do you enjoy it? Do you not enjoy it? Let me know. Also, remember to subscribe because that really helps the channel, and we're trying our best to bring you whatever shit we think is good. All right. I appreciate you guys. Talk to you later.